Prepare to unleash your darkest fears with Prime Video's top 10 creepy horror movies. From heart-pounding scares to twisted tales of terror, these disturbing selections will haunt your dreams. Dim the lights, lock the doors, and surrender to the nightmare. This is not just entertainment, it's a descent into pure dread. Number 10 starts the terror now. A rising pop star's world tour turns into a grinning nightmare when a cursed smile spreads like a virus. After witnessing a gruesome on-stage suicide, she becomes the next target of an entity that forces victims to smile before their horrific deaths. As paranoia grips her and the curse tightens, alliances shatter and reality blurs. Directed by Parker Finn, Smile 2 amplifies the original's dread with pulsating music, celebrity glamour masking cosmic evil, and relentless psychological torment where every forced grin hides screaming terror. Twin brothers return to their Mississippi roots in 1932 to open a juke joint, only to awaken an ancient vampire evil that feasts on their community's soul. As night falls and the undead rise, jazz rhythms mix with blood-curdling howls in a battle between family bonds and eternal damnation. Michael B. Jordan delivers dual intensity in this Ryan Coogler-directed masterpiece that fuses Southern Gothic with raw vampire horror, where sin and salvation bleed together under blood-red moons. Number 8. Weapons. A quiet suburban town erupts when an entire classroom of children vanishes on the same night, leaving behind weapons of unimaginable horror. Parents descend into madness as ancient witchcraft and buried secrets claw their way to the surface. Directed with visceral precision, this film turns everyday Americana into a slaughterhouse of paranoia where no one is innocent and the missing children demand vengeance in flesh and bone. Music, tense orchestral swell with children's laughter warping. Number 7. The Deep House. A thrill-seeking couple dives into an abandoned underwater house in a flooded quarry, discovering it's not empty but haunted by something far worse than ghosts. As oxygen runs low and horrors rise from the depths, their love turns to survival in a claustrophobic nightmare of submerged terror. This aquatic horror masterpiece traps you in suffocating dread where every bubble could be your last breath. Music, bubbling water sounds into heart-pounding score. Number 6. Blink Twice. A tech billionaire's private island paradise becomes a deadly trap for a group of women invited for a luxurious weekend. As memories blur and violence erupts under the influence of mysterious substances, they must fight back before the island claims them forever. Zoe Kravitz directs this sharp, stylish thriller that skewers power, privilege, and predatory masculinity with bloody precision. Number 5. Totally Killer. When a time-traveling slasher from the 80s targets her, a team uses a malfunctioning machine to go back and stop the murders before they begin. But changing the past unleashes chaotic new horrors in this fun yet frightening blend of comedy and slashers. Kiernan Shipka stars in a wild ride where teen angst meets bloody revenge across decades. Music, 80s synth horror with modern twist. Number 4. The Menu. A group of wealthy foodies arrives at an exclusive island restaurant for a once-in-a-lifetime tasting menu, unaware the chef's final course is their own demise. Ralph Fiennes serves up dark satire with razor-sharp tension as the meal turns into a gourmet bloodbath. Every dish hides a deadly secret in this wickedly delicious horror. Music, elegant classical distorting into screams. Number 3. The Void. A rural hospital becomes ground zero for cosmic horror when patients mutate into eldritch abominations and hooded cultists surround the building. Trapped inside, survivors descend into basement realms where reality unravels into Lovecraftian madness. Practical gore and nightmarish visuals make this a portal to pure otherworldly terror. Music, industrial drones and shrieks. Number 2. Suspiria. An American dancer arrives at a prestigious Berlin academy only to uncover a coven of witches using movement as dark magic. Luca Guadagnino's remake plunges deeper into political unrest, bodily horror, and maternal evil with breathtaking dance sequences soaked in blood. Tilda Swinton and Dakota Johnson deliver performances that haunt long after the final bow. Music, throbbing experimental score. Number 1. Brimstone. In the lawless Old West, A mute midwife flees a sadistic preacher whose reign of biblical terror unravels her past in reverse chronology chapters of vengeance and survival. This slow-burn revenge epic scorches with moral ambiguity, graphic violence, and unrelenting dread where faith itself becomes the ultimate monster. Music, Western guitar turning infernal. Jack goes home. After his father's sudden death in a car crash, Jack returns to his childhood home to care for his grieving mother. But instead of closure, he uncovers a series of disturbing messages and hidden recordings that point to long-buried family secrets darker than he could ever imagine. As grief twists into obsession, the walls of his old house begin to whisper forgotten truths, forcing Jack to question everything: his past, his sanity, and the man he thought his father was. What starts as mourning quickly becomes a terrifying psychological descent where home is no longer safe. Music, slow haunting piano that gradually distorts into unease. The Horde, a routine police raid on a rundown Parisian apartment block turns into absolute hell when the dead suddenly rise from the floors and stairwells. What began as a mission to take down a dangerous drug gang collapses into chaos as cops and criminals are forced to fight side by side against an ever-growing army of ravenous undead. Trapped in the decaying building with no escape, survival becomes more brutal with every passing minute. This raw, unrelenting French horror delivers non-stop gore and tension that will leave you breathless. Satan. After a wild Christmas Eve celebration at a nightclub, a group of friends accepts an invitation to a remote countryside mansion for what they believe will be a perfect after-party. But the strange caretaker who welcomes them harbors a terrifying obsession with fertility rituals and satanic worship. What begins as a decadent night quickly spirals into a hallucinatory nightmare of blood, lust, and ancient evil. In this French extremity classic, no one is safe and salvation is nowhere to be found. The Nightmare. This chilling documentary dives deep into the terrifying real-life phenomenon of sleep paralysis. Through haunting reenactments and personal testimonies, victims describe being completely frozen in their beds, unable to move or scream, while shadowy demonic figures loom over them in the darkness. What feels like supernatural visitations might actually be something far more sinister. This psychological horror will make you afraid to close your eyes at night. Music, slow breathing sounds mixed with eerie drones and sudden screams.